When you see me pop out like this, you know it is hair day. So let's go from this to this. And I'm sharing this just in case somebody else wants to do their own hair at home and ditch the salon. Alrighty, as you can tell already, we're doing some curly hair today. And I have this half wig that I turned into a 2x6 closure wig. Also, ignore my braiding pattern. I'm not great at it. I just do enough to be able to hold my thread. And as always, today we're doing the lace closure behind the hairline. So essentially what you're going to do is to sew around the perimeter of your head from where the lace starts all around without sewing onto the lace itself. And to make this easier for me, I start on one side and sew it all the way to the back and come to the other side and do the same thing. And when they meet, I just tie the knots. Now, to further secure the wig on my head so that it's not like moving back or sliding back, anything like that, I like to part out where the braids meet the weaves meet the lace, and then I just sew about like 4" all the way to the back on both sides. That way, I don't have to worry about my wig sliding, and then I just pinch myself. Once I pinch myself, I said, yeah, that's it. I cut it. Now that the wig is secure, I don't even know why I let my kids talk me into doing this curly hair, because as much as I love curly hair, it can just get big and I don't like that. But we're going to see how this turns out. Or at least that's what I was telling myself at this point. I used some ebony spray and blow dryer to like melt the lace into where there's no hair on my head. And then to secure my hair that's not curly at all, I do is I spray onto it and then I comb all the way to the back, and with my hand and the blow dryer on cool setting, I blow dry until that's flat. And then I tie this with the elastic band. This is very optional anyways. I'm going to cut some layers into this hair since it was turning out to be a bob. And then I decided to define the curls first. So with water and some leave-in conditioner from Shea Moisture, I put that on the hair, make sure it saturated the hair, and then I just brush with my detangling brush. And sometimes I do finger curls here and there and diffuse that to blow dry it a little bit. I was actually running late for an appointment, so I was doing this all in a speeded motion. To make the hair dry enough for me to head out, I decided to use a blow dryer like that, and then to give that shiny wet look, but then the hair is dry, I use some oil. This is the only oil that I could find, so yeah. Now I'm pressing down anything that's bumpy with my curling iron, and I like to do this part in the front of my hair. Be careful with this, I burn myself severally. Alright, now that I'm done with all the defining and drying of the hair, I decided to cut some face framing layers in front of my hair so that way the hair is not entering my eyes. And then I like the bob to be a bob, so I trimmed that as well. You know how I said I don't like big hair? Maybe I lied, because I don't like my curly hair to look like it's not full enough, so I use a wide tooth comb to pick it out without letting the comb run through to the ends of the hair. The hairspray is optional, but I like to do this so that it retains that volume that I have going on. Last not least, I use some makeup to like trace the parting and spray it down so that powder looks more like a scalp. And this is the finished look, you guys. The hair is not fully dried yet, but then I was going out, so I know it was going to get dry throughout the day. And this is how it looks in another lighting. Oh, I think I love it. I think I love it. You guys, tell me what you think in the comments. Thank you for coming to my salon with me, aka my bathroom. See you in the next one.